The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, Werewolf Within, a movie we had never heard of, based on a video game we didn't know existed. Not bad.
Shall we play again?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that loves watching movies that they didn't know existed. I am your host, Caleb Schweiss.
I'm Joe.
I'm A4.
And I'm Chinese Mexican immigrant Zach.
And today, guys, we are reviewing, in air quotes, the final video game movie, but I do believe the Borderlands certain to be piece of shit is going to be out before this podcast is over. So we were going to go out on a decent note, I thought. Spoilers. But unfortunately, we're going to have to suffer through whatever bullshit comes our way from the Borderlands movie.
Why are we having to suffer through that? Is it because some people are really people who have won contests for beating the most games in a year in some categories
I don't know why you're
slowest motherfuckers.
I don't know why you're trying to pin this on me. All right, I beat.
He said some people. He obviously meant
Some
the Chinese
people.
Mexican.
Zach did not win the contest for most games beaten a year.
I did.
He
I
has.
beat.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
did.
I won the hog. I won the
He
hog.
was King
not the-
Hog for a year.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Must have usurped him at some point. Anyway,
That's true.
for the podcast listeners, by the way, the reason Zach said that he's a Chinese Mexican immigrant is because I had to use an AI picture of him because he can't have his camera on because I guess he has Chinese Mexican internet. So it doesn't work if he turns the video on. So there you go. There's that. Got to remember,
Yeah.
it's an audio podcast.
Just sit in the silence. Just do it.
Just got to remember,
Yeah.
it's an audio podcast. It doesn't do good with visual bits, which is going to be really dumb a little
We
later.
remember.
Hey, for Mr. Fast at video games, what level are you on in Conan right now?
I'm almost level 30.
You know what level I was on like 6 months ago in Conan?
Yeah,
From a guy
but
who's
like,
never won any of those contests.
yeah, I know, but like, it's not
like
a,
what? A4?
It's not a fucking race.
Not
okay?
enough anime porn in the game
It's
for
true.
you.
He's
to
right,
say?
he's right
Honestly,
though.
it would
It's
help.
not a race.
It would have helped if there was anime
well,
porn in Conan Exiles. If we
Joe
were
was
playing this
busy
on
making
PC, where it ran better and we could have our dicks out, I would have beaten it by now. But no, we got to play it on PS4.
A4, no one's watching you when you're playing these games. You can have your dick out the whole time.
And I
Yeah.
do, but like you guys don't know that because I don't have the PlayStation Eye, so you can't see the glory. I want to drag dick trails in the sand, okay? I don't see why that's such a hard sell.
I want to get a PlayStation Eye and mod it to like have the Eye of Sauron, like just always going all day, seeing
They
you with your dick out playing.
They
your
really
games.
should have an Alexa build like that.
Yeah, no shit.
Someone's
The Ear of
probably already-
Sauron.
Someone's probably already modded that, like just built up
a giant,
the tower around the Alexa unit.
The ear of Sauron.
a giant blue and white ear wreathed in flame.
Cloud72483 in the chat says, F the PC version, play it like a real man on console. I am. Much to my own chagrin, I am. Don't you worry. I love when I'm playing the game and all of a sudden I can't farm wood from tree nodes anymore because the game just decided I can't pick up wood. So I have to log out and log back in, and then
Because you're over encumbered.
I'm over encumbered.
I thought you played this game before.
I
April.
did,
has
and it
literally
ran
never happened
better.
to me.
It legitimately
you're
ran
over-encumbered.
better like 5 fucking years ago somehow.
You know, it probably legitimately ran better when we have five less buildings built on the
Yeah.
server. I think a lot of it honestly has to do with the server being like overloaded because we've created masterpieces of architecture in this virtual world.
Masterpieces
So that's
of architecture.
the price you pay.
Masterpieces of architecture meaning big sandstone cubes. Like,
Or the fucking road. Look,
The-
I connected cities.
Look,
I've
look.
Silk
connected
Road.
cities
the
in that
stairs
game.
the stairs were very impressive to me until I
Lit.
went and did my own stairs over at Jerkoff Point, which is like down the river. It didn't take me that long.
A4, some of those stairs were pretty brutal to make. Like the cliff face was
Yeah, I know, I
not
did it
made for
too.
stairs.
I know, I did it too.
We toyed with the fucking elevators, but god damn it, they were so slow.
Yeah, stairs were faster.
Yeah.
And
that's-
we couldn't get it like we did the last time where Cameron hit that one where it was like a straight up minute and a half fucking ride to the top. Like it wasn't
in like
epic
the
like that
little
either.
like riverbed that like goes up to that big cliff that leads to like the wooded biome.
Yeah, we couldn't recreate that, so it was lame. And it's like you can't really do Game of Thrones theme while you're riding it if it's like the desert leading into the desert. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, half of that map is desert, so
yeah, true.
Well, how do we start these things? It's been like a month and a half. I don't even remember.
we
How do
usually
we
go
podcast?
over. We usually go over what we've been playing over
Oh,
the past week.
Oh, I see. Okay. Over the past month and a week and a half, Zach, what have you been playing?
I'm playing Conan Exiles,
Nice.
a game that's not very good, actually. Just kidding. I'm actually really enjoying it, and much to my dismay, I had to tell Schweiss that I was in fact enjoying it.
Yeah, I was very happy about that. Thank you.
It's been fun. So, just building the house, man. I'm now, because I was looking at some of the things you can do. I am gonna be able to make a tavern. I want to make a tavern, and I want to make my house into a little Airbnb. That's my plan.
You know, you lose all that if we beat the game because you take off your bracelet and you leave the exiled land.
Oh, I'm never beating the game. That's the goal.
See, that was what I thought you'd
I'm-
say, and I think Schweiss will be in agreement on that one. What if we just?
Well, I
never
mean,
beat the game?
All you have to do is start another character and go to the same server,
Yeah, the server, you still have all the shit. I mean,
and your stuff is still there.
Is that actually how it works?
yeah.
Does your
'cause
character
I think
still have all the
PvP.
shit?
I think Cam told me the same thing. I can just like walk in and be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
because
that's
we're
good.
not doing PvP or anything, so not yet.
Yeah, so when I beat this
Yeah.
game and I leave, then the new owner of my Airbnb and the exiled lands we'll get it. Yeah,
So
it'd be great.
whoever logs in first and claims it when we turn
stay out of
PvP
my
on.
It's a race to get back in the game. Just
Stay out of
"How
my
can we beat
tavern,
it?
you
Fuck it,
bitch."
everyone get back in. Quick, make a new character. Call him Flomgor and make him like a black lady with huge tits.
Flomgor.
Call him Flongor and
Yes.
make him a big black lady with huge tits.
Joe, it's 2024. Come on.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
good
and as
point.
we learned from this movie, gender is a construct. So, you know,
That's right. Never heard that before this movie. Honestly,
I didn't hear that before either. Honestly, no.
I'm glad.
Did I miss
Glad
that?
for
Did they
that.
say that in the movie? Did I miss that line somehow?
Yeah, the
Hey, Thor,
AT&T
you missed a
chick says
lot.
it.
Did you watch this movie?
I was paying attention. I don't remember that line. I would have been mad.
You also don't remember balls
the
and
AT
then a cut to something that looked like a dick and balls.
Because I was like, is he?
Which is
First of all, I was
insane.
trying to make sure, like, because this is one of those movies where like the dialogue's really quiet and the action was really loud. So I had to like, I'm like, is my TV turned up enough? Because I'm at like 35, and normally a comfortable volume on this TV is like 7. So I'm just waiting for like a jump scare to blow my TV speakers out. So when he was
I
yelling
do-
balls, and I was like, is he yelling balls?
I do want to be clear to anyone who has a TV at home that when the movie's soundtrack, goes from really loud to really quiet, you boost the quiet and you live with the loud.
That's what I did.
I cannot stand going to someone's place and they just keep on turning it up and down, up and down. I'm like, motherfucker, we're in a movie theater, all right? Just leave it loud.
Don't get it twisted. Once I turned it up, I left it up. I was just trying to figure out, like, what do I have to have this at to actually hear the fucking dialogue? Because, again, I thought at 35 I was going to, like, blow up the fucking, like, neighborhood. So
my wife and I went to a house to watch that big soccer game that happened yesterday. And
what is this soccer?
Was it Spain?
Never heard of it.
Was it Spain?
It was Copa America, and it was Colombia versus Argentina.
Oh.
And they set the volume so quiet, and I didn't want to like complain. I think I said one thing about it, but I was like, and then when it went like a little louder for a commercial, he turned it down, and I'm like, Are you like really like I couldn't hear it. It was that quiet. Like, are you really sensitive to sound? Like super?
Oh, dude.
I cannot believe how quiet it was set. Like, I am deaf. I know that. But at the same time, there was so much other stuff going on. And it's like, well, if the center point of this whole thing is the game, we should be able to hear the game at about the same volume level as someone talking, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's not background music. It's what you're there to do.
It's the centerpiece, right? But that was not the
it should be blasted, and then if needed.
I was like, well, these people can't go over to my place when I'm having something on the TV. I'm gonna blow their ears out. That's the
if I don't hear them scream goal at the top of their lungs on that TV and my heart doesn't reverberate in my chest because of the bass, I just don't want it.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought your heart was gonna like reverberate because you felt a connection to your people, but I guess not.
I'm not Colombian.
Whatever. South of Texas, it's all the same. Varying degrees.
I mean, even in Texas, it's all the same. So I mean, it's whatever you want.
Yeah,
fucking
true.
Fulgrim in the chat says, "Blow their ears out." Were you at the Trump rally, Joe?
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump just won the election.
Yeah, me too.
One.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Think he planted it? I'm kidding.
Inside job will do that to you, though.
Have you ever shot a gun? So I don't think so. Plus I saw a video of it was like him turning his head and like the angle of the bullet, somebody like had it where it was originally and it was gonna like totally take out a chunk of his brain. But because he turned his head to look at the border crossing stats that he had up on his monitor. So illegal immigration saved the ex-president. He's got like a love-hate relationship with fucking illegal.
I said facts and logic don't care about your assassination attempts.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like it was gonna totally fucking kill him, but he like turned his head and then it just took part of his ear off instead, which is crazy.
Yeah, that
hasn't happened in a long time, dude. Like
Since
a
Reagan?
long time.
Oh, I mean, I was saying we could use another good assassination
to a president,
in the U.S. for them.
I think wasn't the New Mexican president assassinated or attempted assassination 10 years ago?
Yeah, but that's like Mexico. That's not.
New Mexican governor. Sorry,
That's a governor. That's not like a real position of power. Come on.
I don't know. That's more like
maybe it was
even
Arizona.
more.
It was another.
That's even
state.
more questionable
me.
though. It's like everything is so national now. Why would you even worry about the governor? But I mean, I guess it makes more sense to assassinate like city council members. Like, fuck you. You made me take down my gazebo.
Fuck you.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, because it's a personal.
You fucking commie.
It's weird that HOA don't get assassinated more than they do.
Yeah, it's like you actually affect me.
Yeah, it seems like that would be the thing. Like, I mean, Craig's days may be numbered if he keeps, HOA.
That's almost what the fucking Werewolves Within movie was about, to a degree. Anyway.
It was about HOA. That's true.
It was about community.
Yeah.
Really.
So you've been playing Conan Exiles, which is a community we have on a janky ass fucking
on a little known system called the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, if you're playing on PlayStation 4 or 5 and you want to join our server, details
get
in our
fucked.
Discord.
Oh, sorry.
The Discord in the description of our.
Don't we have limited room
here.
left on that server?
I bought more spots.
All right,
so
well, there
we
you go.
have more. I think we should have like at least 15.
Be a part of Nude Clan
slots.
history. Help us beat
Help us
Conan
end the
Exiles.
show.
Yeah, help us end the
Yeah.
help us end the show you like.
Yeah, be the dagger, be the Brutus dagger in the back of the podcast you love.
Et tu, Brulo?
Man, so many assassination.
To be fair, the memes have been
parallels.
wonderful.
Joe, it's
memes
in
have been
right now,
wonderful.
okay? It's the hot thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
in. Until it's so in right
Shinzo
now.
Abe got assassinated like last year, and then his ghost saved Donald Trump now. So
Yeah, I saw that one. That was pretty good.
Okay.
What are you okaying,
is
you
that a
commie
meme?
bastard?
Is that like a meme?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a meme.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, it
because
actually
the ghost of former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, did not actually save Donald Trump, Joe. I don't
I
think
thought for
we
a
think.
sec. I thought for a second you had an original joke, and then Caleb was like, "I've seen that one."
Fuck no.
And I was like, "Oh,
None of my jokes are. Nothing
Bummer.
about me is original. Look around
Ah.
me. I'm surrounded by a bunch of tchotchke. Nothing. Like I am nothing but regurgitated memes and pop culture. I am a fake
I'm gonna be
human.
honest. What really made me mad is two things this week. One, I made a meme when we found out the gay furries hacked the dude. What is it? The Project 2025 site for the Heritage Foundation. And I made a meme and sent it to a few friends. That was that article, and then Gimli saying, "I never thought I'd die fighting side by side with a furry." And I didn't post it, and then I saw fucking 1,000 of them. And I was like, "Shit!" And then
almost like
when
It's almost like the
And then
easy
when
jokes
Donald-
are easy.
it was great, and then when Donald Trump almost got his comeuppance, I was gonna make one with that, and then Mushu that says he was right in front, you missed. And then I saw that online too, and I was like, "Fuck! I should have posted my shit. I should have
man.
fucking posted him, and I didn't. And I was a little upsetting,
Yeah, see,
honestly."
if it would have been Biden, it would have hit him, and he would have just kept going.
I saw a thing that
Yeah, he
There ain't
would have got
nothing
back up
going
and been like,
on there.
that was talking about the assassination attempt, and they were like, his voice just changes. They were like, they wouldn't even have to try that hard with Biden. Like, they just had to put some poison in his ice cream and it'd be over.
Yeah, they just tell him, "Oh, sorry, someone tried to throw a set of stairs at you."
Yeah, no, I was
Just
gonna
keep
say,
giving
if you
your
wanted to
speech.
assassinate Biden, just send him to bed by himself. He'll trip up the stairs and die.
What if he's a daywalker, dude? What if they just, like, spike him or something? He's like a vampire.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
Well,
I
they
wouldn't wish
fucked
that
up.
on Biden. I wouldn't wish it on Trump either. But I'm just consistent. What can I say?
No, I think it'd be
Just-
cool if we had a
just-
daywalker president. I don't know. Okay, what
That's what I'm
wish
saying,
it?
dude.
Like,
Just find out vampire. It's like how they find out werewolves are real in this movie, but we find out vampires are real because they failed assassination attempt on Biden, and he's.
So then
find
the
out he's a
vampires
vampire.
kill him because he breaks the masquerade. So
Oh yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
wild. Then
yeah, then I guess he
Crazy.
does die.
anyway, you've been playing Conan Exiles, and what else?
A little bit of Hollow Knight because last week I was not at home for a PlayStation. We did our friend Jacob, that's been friends with like Cameron's old roommate, flew in from Georgia for 4th of July, so we all got an Airbnb and hung out, and
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
so I took my Switch. Yeah, so I took just did Switch stuff. So played some Hollow Knight, and
Tell,
did some
tell,
Switch stuff.
Tell
You-
Cameron and Jacob thanks for the invite. We all really appreciate it here over at New Clan.
Yeah, I was busy, not being invited.
Zach did some Switch stuff. He was a dom for a bit, and then he was a sub, and then just flip flopping. Really, no one. All right,
The silence just hurts.
I think he's
whatever.
just gone now.
That's fine.
Probably.
Oh no,
Oh,
yeah, that's a very real possibility. I was gonna say if anyone knows what a Switch is, that's not related to the video game console, it's Zach. But whether it's the stick or the sexual position thing, but
Okay.
yeah.
A4, what sexual position? I mean, what games have you been playing?
What have I been playing? I've been playing the PS5.
You've been playing the PS5?
I've been playing the PS5.
But you don't have any games? Is that
That
what
was
you're
so
saying?
graciously donated to me by Phantom JD on the server, and
He's gonna be vice president in like what, a year?
he said
Phantom JD.
he said he wanted me to read the lore of this thing, because he was very generous that he sent this to me, and like I told him like, yo, I can like cover shipping or whatever. And he's like, no, it's good. So
I've done nothing but bitch about the PS5. Thanks for a free one.
well, I mean, again,
Okay.
so. He said, I'll have to type something up, but the short version is I let my former best friend of 17 years borrow it, which is why it doesn't have a stand, and there's probably scuff marks on it, which I didn't see any scuff marks, but I tried to clean it as best as I could. I even had to switch out the controller because he fucked the one that it came with up. That PS5 is a relic of pure hate, apparently. So, again, thank you extremely to Phantom JD on the server. I will take much better care of this, although it's starting to burn my hands now that I'm touching it, so get the fuck out of here.
Just throw it.
Anyway, so I've been playing... Yeah.
That was pretty good.
So I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, as Schweiss is acutely aware of, because apparently when you don't close the game entirely... when you are playing the game, and you're like on the home screen, I guess that just says that's what you're playing. So like I had the one night we were supposed to be playing Conan, and I was waiting for like I saw Schweiss and them were on, but I was waiting for Zach to get on too. So I was just hanging out in the bedroom with my wife for a bit, and I had the home screen of the PS5 up here, and the last thing I played was FF7 Remake. So I get on, and he's giving me grief like, Conan Exile, you were at the grocery store. You mean Final Fantasy VII Remake? And I'm like, no, I came home from the store like hours ago. I just happened to have Remake was the last thing that I was playing, which I don't know why you people and Sony aren't advertising this fucking console with this like the fact that fucking if you close out of the game, you can like resume where you were last, if it was the last game you played. Like, without having to boot the game up, there's like a thing that says like resume activity, and it just picks up right where you fucking left off, even if the app is closed. And I'm like, that's legitimately a great fucking feature. I don't know why they're not advertising this. And it works great with the PS4 backwards compatibility, because like I'll be playing Remake, I'll save and then like quit out of the app to play Conan Exiles, and then I'll just be able to hop right back in to Remake with like no loading screens or fucking anything. And I'm like, that's a really good fucking feature. Why is no one talking about this? It's great. So,
well, A4, in terms of marketing, you have things, sometimes you're going to sell a widget and it has multiple functions. And what you have to decide is your target audience, the largest target audience that you have, what is their biggest selling point there? Like, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? And I don't know if like being so addicted to video games that if you don't get your fix immediately as soon as you press the power button, I don't know if that is necessarily their number one selling point, but I'm
because
glad it's a feature that you found useful.
Because they're PS5 owners, so they're not used to playing video games. But I will say it is extremely nice to be able to just like press FF7 Remake and like resume activity, and I don't even have to like load up the save file or see a loading screen. The screen's just black for a couple seconds, and there's Cloud standing where I left him. Neat. So I don't know. That's a really nice fucking feature of that fucking thing. I don't know why you guys didn't talk about that. And also, like, it's a better advertisement than like, hey, do you want to play the 469th hyper cinematic over the shoulder action adventure game where a character cries a lot? Because we got a lot of those here at Sony.
Hey, Kratos never cries.
Kratos never cries, but he might as well. That is those games are a fucking Hallmark movie, dude. But so yeah, I've been playing Remake again because I got Rebirth, so I wanted to like refresh myself, and I'm currently going through to try to get the platinum. So I'm going through all the chapters on hard.
I gotta find the Hallmark movie where someone gets a glory kill by like breaking someone's jaw and then ripping their jaw down to their navel.
Look,
their flesh and jaw down to the
that sounds
navel,
like a
and then
legit
just
Hallmark movie.
pushing them down. Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, this is sweet."
Look,
not your grandma's
I'm
Hallmark
not saying
movie.
that the new God of War games don't have like cool shit in them, but like they spend way too much time on like, what if Kratos was like sad now, and like, what if he was like really introspective? And it's like, I don't want to see that. I want to see him tear the jaw off of a thing.
And for we know we've heard your fucking counterculture argument.
It's not counterculture. It's just
fucking God of War for 9 hours at a time. We have episodes that are titled God of War 2.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Ragnarok. You know.
Cloud doesn't spend all of FF7 Remake being all like introspective and being like, oh, but what if I wasn't the bad guy? So I like that game.
Surprisingly, in the remakes, Cloud is much closer to the original characters. I think
that he is in like Advent Children
than he was in Advent Children, despite it obviously both being Nomura-headed projects.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, something happened and. Emo Cloud disappeared, thank God.
Yeah.
I think Nomura just gave in to what everyone wanted Cloud to be or assumed he was. It's like letting the fans take over the project.
Yeah,
could be.
boo.
Can't do
Fans
that.
suck.
Because he was kind of broody in Kingdom Hearts, which was also a Nomura like thing.
Yeah, and that's where Emo Cloud I think first showed his ugly head.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. His spiky ass head. But it's
His bisexual head.
I popped in Remake or Rebirth for a little bit after spoilers beating Remake again, so I could like see the first part, and I basically did all of Chapter 1, which is just the calm flashback. And wow, that game is like a huge improvement gameplay wise, just in terms of like, oh my god, like there's like actual areas that aren't just piles of trash. And the battle system is got like cool new upgrades, like the fucking like the team attack shit with Sephiroth. And the one thing I'm really loving about the PS5 so far is the fucking like HD rumble in the controller, like just the little subtle things they do here and there, which I didn't really get a lot of it in Remake, but in it's in Rebirth. And I also played a bunch of that like Astrobot game that comes packaged in, which is like just basically look at what the PS5 controller can do, the game, but it's Astrobot, so it's really fun. So,
dude, pleasing that controller on Resident Evil 4 Remake is fucking sick. Any game with a gun, honestly, because it like the triggers like react with the different guns, dude. It's so fucking
you're like,
cool.
yeah,
Fuck
you're
you.
like,
You shouldn't get to play that game. I can't play that game yet.
you're making me want to like check out some other games on the PS5 that like, I actually did buy the upgrade for Spider-Man because I have it on PS4, but I'm like, I want to feel the like trigger shit in Spider-Man on PS5 because I'm sure it has it. And I'll probably eventually get Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales, but yeah. I do like the PS5 just by virtue of now that I have one.
What?
No, listen. Now that I have
Oh man,
one,
if
I
only
like
we
it.
had a time machine. God damn it.
I like the PS5 now that I have one, and not to sound like I'm not like an asshole, but like I just don't think it's worth $550. Like I'm glad I got one for free again. Extreme thank you to Phantom JD for sending me one for free, which you didn't have to do. But I'm like again eternally grateful. But yes,
How much?
What?
How much do you think it's worth?
Like $100?
What the fuck, dude? That's how much they sold GameCubes for when they were like in the next
Yeah,
generation.
and the GameCube didn't have a
console.
lot of games either. So I mean, like,
Oh my god. I think it's worth 400.
that's
I think
too high. That's too high.
I think
If I'm
500 was
being
too
realistic, I would say like 250, maybe 300, which is probably what it should cost about now because it's 4 years in. But like, I don't know, dude. I like again, and I'm coming.
Well-
I'm coming at this from the place of I have a gaming PC. This thing can do all the stuff that my gaming PC does, except not as good. The only real buffs are like the controller's awesome, and that thing where I can just load into the game immediately, like that's a great fucking feature. But other than that, it's just like, to me personally, it's not worth it. But I've said all this time, I understand that there's a market out there for people who just want to buy the console and put the game in and have it work and like have none of the fucking minutia and weird little fucking things that come with PC gaming. I totally fucking get it. I'm just a different kind of like guy in the market that, yeah, the PS5 was never like the thing that I ever like. I need one because again, it doesn't have a lot of exclusives either. Like I have a Switch, which has games that I can't play on PC. Like I could emulate them, but like at the end of the day, it's like for the most part, it's like, yeah, if I want to play Luigi's Mansion 3, I gotta buy a fucking Switch. So, and that was, that's just how it is. So I'm trying to come at this from like a completely fair standpoint, where it's like, yes, I get that people are just going to want to buy the box that plays the game without having all this fucking like trouble, but I already have one of those and it's called a PC. But again, I've put a fuck ton of time on this PS5 since he sent it to me. I've played Remake through already. I'm playing through it again on hard. I'm going to play through Rebirth. I also have 16 because I want to play 16, and I want to finish Spider-Man because I never finished Spider-Man, and now I have the PS5 upgrade, and at some point I'm going to get Stellar Blade too. So,
do you remember when all he did was bitch about PS5?
Yeah, yeah, something. It's a distant memory.
Yeah,
I give a good measured
memory.
argument from my point of view and why I shit on it all this time, and these guys just fucking like, oh, fucking throw it to the wind. So,
it's at least a month ago.
but yeah, I've been playing FF7 Remake and Conan Exiles and a little bit of Pokemon Red and Blue, just because, that's a fun game.
Caleb?
I don't think it's a fun game. But I have been playing Conan Exiles. Good amount of that. Well, not a good amount. I'm working on building my new house. And I made it huge, so it's like a big resource whore. Like it's pricey, much like the new house with its interest rate of much higher than the old one. So I've been building that. That's kind of like my project while I'm waiting for these guys. But I've been playing a bunch of Bravely Default and Bravely Second. And I played a little bit of Minecraft today. It's like the first real time I've ever played Minecraft.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
my 5-year-old really likes Minecraft. So
As they tend
I
to
told
do.
him I would play it with him.
Nice.
Yeah. So I did that. That was fun.
Minecraft is good. It's like Conan if it was made well, but without the
I
slavery,
don't
so it's
know.
not as good.
Yeah, I mean that's a hard sell,
Well, I
No
don't remember.
slavery.
I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, yeah, the only reason Schweiss and us love this game so much is because it has slavery. That's like the only fucking reason this game tops all these other survival games.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of other games that offer most of the things that Conan has, and arguably better, but none of them went there. But Conan did. But yeah, so I played a little bit of that today. Some Fortnite here and there with Jace, but mostly Bravely Default, Bravely Second, Conan Exiles.
We've
that's what I've been busy.
We've been playing Conan Exiles with Jace, and it just makes me laugh because he's like, he's like, what, 11? So I'm just like, oh, do you watch like Mr. Beast? And he's like, no, he's cringe. And I'm like, you're raising this kid right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't mind. I don't
think you
care
could
about
hit him
Mr.
a little more, honestly.
Mr. Beast fucked
Like,
me
just
over.
a little bit more.
It's personal.
Wait, what did
Yeah.
Mr. Beast do to you?
Oh, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast
He stole your look.
took my main actor 2 weeks before production on Chicken Coop.
No shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's real. That actually happened. This is so yeah, it's now it's personal. But I mean, we got a great actor in replace of Eric instead, but
Should have signed a non-compete,
still,
buddy.
he really gave me some real stress for a week looking for a replacement actor before production had to go in. So, yeah, fuck Mr. B.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
walk into the Walmart and you
So-
see the Mr. Beast candy bar. You're just like, oh.
Just
Yeah.
grab it and squish it in your hand.
Fuck you
fuck
and your
you.
fucking money that can just buy anyone.
Fuck you and your
anything.
McDonald's burger or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, exactly. I saw the Mr. Beast food and I haven't touched a single one
Hey,
because
you
I'm not 12, and he can go fuck himself.
Fulgrim says you could have just ruined his entire career by releasing your manifesto and offing yourself. Jesus Christ.
I guess. I'm not that mad.
He's like Joe gets his ultimate revenge on Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast is running for president, and Joe's just on a rooftop with a fucking rifle. It's like, all right, win, don't fail me now.
Dude.
Mr. Beast turns his head at the last minute to look at all the wells he made in Africa, and it just nicks his ear.
The wells that they're like reselling on like eBay or whatever the fuck. Do you see that? Like,
Are they really?
no, he one of his videos, they like build a bunch of houses for people in like some like South American country or whatever, and they're already like selling them.
Jesus.
Yeah. What a funny world we live in.
Fucking poor people. Almost as bad as the homeless. They're just like they're just less into being poor than the homeless are.
So Joe,
They're
besides
real
plotting Mr. Beast's fucking downfall, what have you been playing?
I'm sure he'll make it happen himself. I'm sure I'll have nothing to do with that.
That wasn't ominous.
No, I have other Mr. Beast thoughts I'll save for not on recording.
We're in no way affiliated with Joseph de Gaulier. The Nude clan is the thoughts are everyone here separately.
Mr. Beast, if you would give me $1 million for whatever stupid stunt, then
Mr. Beast, if you give me $1 million, I'll punch Joe right in the dick for saying he hates you. I'll do it. I swear to God.
What have I been playing? I'll tell you what I've been playing. I've been playing a little game called Bravely Default, or as some people call it, Bravely Default.
like how some people play theater rhythm and some people play theater rhythm.
Bravely
right.
DeWalt, like the tool.
Yeah, you got to use that DeWalt bravely.
Finally getting those calluses on them hands, Joe.
That's right.
No, it's Brave Lee Harvey Oswald. That's the name of the game, and then you
Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
I've also been playing, believe it or not, its sequel, Bravely Second.
Wait, but wouldn't the sequel be called Bravely Default 2? I'm confused.
Why I have also been playing its other direct sequel, Bravely Default 2.
Wait, are they both a sequel to Bravely Default?
They are both, at least in the franchise, direct sequels to Bravely Default.
Yeah, but why is it an end layer? Because, like, you can just keep making layers in Photoshop.
In case you're wondering, I have no idea what Bravely Default : end layer means. Or Bravely Second : end layer means. No, is it Bravely Default 2 end layer? Which
no,
one
it's
has
Bravely
that?
Second is end layer.
And
then Bravely Default
okay.
is technically Flying Fairy, but they didn't use that fucking subtitle here.
Well, then it's not technically that here, but
Well, I bet if it was,
it's not that here. It's like Bravery Default 2. That's what it, Flying Fairy. That's what it.
This is how
would
you're
be
spending your
technically.
various day life.
This is how I'm spending my various day life, from various day life to singular night death. What can we do but discuss Bravely Default?
The funniest version that I ever saw was like evil Colonel Sanders says it's toe sucking bad.
That's a good one. That one
made me fucking lose it.
I think that it's an interesting series. It's an interesting series.
Would you say it's brave?
Thoughts will be had on the Ultimate Final Fantasy podcast.
Oh yes, our lesser known sister podcast that hasn't, been around very long. But,
You can also check out the Godzilla podcast, which also is near the end of its life. Dude, each of these podcasts has less than 5 episodes left. You know what that feels like?
Sure, our listeners are sad.
Relief.
Our listeners are throwing themselves off bridges, and you're like, oh, finally.
As he steps down from said bridge.
Hey, I welcome anyone to start a Godzilla commentary podcast where you go through each of the Godzilla movies and do a bunch of research on it, then talk over the entirety of the movie, from beginning to the most recent Godzilla movie. I also, if someone wants to play literally every English language release of Final Fantasy, except
for Chrono Trigger,
whatever order you desire, Feel free. You have my blessing. And if anybody wants to start a weekly video game podcast, from now until the end of time, where they each take 2 hours, and then you guys are trying to beat a game every 2 weeks, you know what? Go for it. Anybody can replace me on this. Anybody. There's room. There's so much room in iTunes for more podcasts.
Yeah, but I don't know, Joe. You kind of
can do
bring
what you
this
want.
certain je ne sais quoi to the whole thing that I don't think can be replicated. There's
Hey
kinda
man,
like
I don't
this-
speak Chinese.
That was like a real long word for gay.
Yeah, basically.
That was French. That's why it was so long and gay.
I'm speaking his native tongue.
Well, at least someone's got to be long. Okay,
Hey, man, I take pride in my shortness, okay? I'm a one-pump chump. All right? I get shit done fast, except for beating video games.
Yeah.
except for beating Conan.
Yeah. But to be fair,
Anything
the game
to
is
avoid
fighting me
that.
at every single step of the fucking way. Where it's just like, all of a sudden, it's just like, you had the game open for 28 minutes. Suddenly, you're just not able to pick up this specific resource for some goddamn
I
reason.
have literally I haven't had any problems on the PlayStation version. Not one. I'm going to start calling you Craig because you keep finding glitches, dude.
You know what, dude?
Dude?
Phantom JD JD sent me a cursed PS5. It's specifically made to fuck me over.
I cummed in it
I'm
before
gonna
you
throw it
gave
and
to
play
you.
the cat glass breaking noise again. God damn it!
Dude, I'm just saying, I haven't had any problems on Conan. Not one. I have been doing great.
But the thing that irks me the most is
Is that you're wrong?
Tell me about your irk.
I got the PS5 and Schweiss was like, "Oh yeah, Conan runs so much better on the PS5 than it does on the PS4." And then I get on it and it doesn't. And he's like, "Yeah, I lied." He didn't say that, but he's just like,
does play
"Yeah, it runs
better.
better on the PC." And I'm like,
Yeah, I
No,
lied.
it legitimately does play better on the PS5. What the hell
"No,
are
it
you
doesn't."
talking about?
I'm literally
It
running
plays
into a
better.
problem I
Gap.
never ran
much-
into on the PS4.
How much of a
version.
motherfucking gap did you get between Conan PS4 and Conan PS5? Like 3 years? What the fuck are
Probably,
you talking?
but the
yeah,
game
what
should
do
be
you have to
updated
compare
be
it
better.
to?
And I'm like, oh, I suddenly can't pick up rocks anymore for
no,
some
the
reason.
the performance is just generally better.
No,
Now,
it's
if there's
not.
weird
It runs
things with
just
the
as-
server,
dude, the fucking-
or your
the-
internet,
no, dude,
or your
the-
fucking attitude, A4.
No, I'm dead
then
serious. When I boot
maybe
that game up on the PS5, the
You might
Unreal
feel
logo,
different.
the Unreal logo like chugs. It like freezes for a second, and I'm like, it doesn't run any better on this thing. I don't know how.
I mean, it runs better on PC than it does on PS5.
Well, no
but I
fucking
still think
shit,
it runs better
Schweiss.
on 5 than it does.
You're gonna
Okay.
make. You're gonna
A4,
make.
why
him
don't you
lose his
prove
cool.
us all wrong? Go ahead and start playing it on PS4 right now.
Okay,
Right,
I gotta
just
go
for
hook
a
up the-
week.
I gotta go hook
And
up
then-
the PS4 and download the game again.
And then you can go back to the PS5 and you tell me if it's the case. It's like playing Final Fantasy 14. Like when I was playing on the PS5, I couldn't tell the difference. I went back to the PS4. I can't even remember what reason I had to go back and play like the PS4 version.
Well, your
for a
problem is you're
second.
playing Final Fantasy 14. That's like,
And I went back and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even see the improvements here. Like it was all like subconscious and I had forgot, like you don't know it until you go back. You don't know
Now-
what the difference is.
don't get it twisted. There are games that run better on the PS5 than the PS4. Remake is one of them, but that's because it runs at 60 FPS now. You better believe when I put in Rebirth, I turned off the fucking whatever the mode is where it like, oh, it displays everything in 4K, but the game runs at like sub 30 frames per second. I'm like, nah, give me 60. I want 60. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I can't go from playing Remake at 60 FPS to playing Rebirth, and it's like, oh my God, I can count the fucking frames as I'm like running along.
The moral of the story, listeners, is A4 is wrong. And Conan runs fine on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it runs perfectly fine. I just have to
I
log out.
haven't-
I have to
haven't-
log out every hour because suddenly it decides, oh, you can't pick up plant fiber anymore.
Wait, do you hear
sounds
that?
like server
That's
issues.
the sound of a skill issue.
That sounds like server issues, honestly.
I
Having
think I
played
have
this
it.
many times now with Caleb.
I think
Twice,
I have
twice
it.
bought us a bootleg fucking server.
I think I have it set to like refresh every day, so I don't know what the fuck the problem is.
Well, when I log back in, it's fine. It like has all the resources that I would have got. It's just like for some reason, it's like I'm hitting the tree with the hatchet, and I'm like, I'm not getting wood for some goddamn reason. And then I log back in, and I'm
that's-
carrying all the wood, and I'm over encumbered. I'm like, oh, okay, so it was just there. But the game just decided it was going to be funny and be like, what if it wasn't?
I think that's a great glitch because then you you can just get super bogged
true.
down,
Yeah.
and like with mega iron or mega whatever it is you're after, then log off, go back to your camp, and then log back in, and you're like
Dead.
with everything.
Well,
Yeah.
I have to try that, but it's
Too
also a great
crushed.
glitch because then I got to go back to the main menu and I hear the Conan theme again. So
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and one of the nice things about the PS5 is with those faster loading times. I'm not going to run into the situation where I did on the 4 where I went to the snow dungeon with like the skeletons everywhere, and like the time it took me the game to load me in to the other side of the door, the skeletons had already killed me. So like I'd exit the dungeon and give me the loading screen, and then it would just I'd just be dead and respawning. So I could never get my shit back.
I honestly don't know if the load times are better on this thing or not. I'm assuming they are, but I haven't really like measured it. But if it is, it's like you can't even tell. You know what I mean?
For load times?
Maybe
on
load
the
times.
5?
Okay, load times getting into
Dude.
the game itself, like when you
Okay,
when you're
maybe
logging in
Conan,
from the main
yeah.
menu. But like when you're, maybe when you're loading in from like the main map to like a dungeon, it probably loads better. I just haven't really been paying attention because we've only
if
done
you-
like 2 dungeons so far.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe for Conan specifically, but overall, the PS5 load times are like way fucking faster.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
okay.
sure. I'm just saying for Conan
Conan's-
specifically. I'm like,
Conan's
Oh,
its
man.
own beast, so it
Yeah.
doesn't play by the rules of better hardware equals better experience.
I'm trying to think of what games.
Not necessarily.
Trying to think of what games on the PS4 had dog shit load times. I gotta see.
Final Fantasy 15 had
Ooh.
giant loading screens. If you remember that.
Yeah, I know you're right.
Or you could drive in the car. So anyway, we know what everyone's been playing this last month and a half and a week. But did anybody within that time beat a game?
Zach, what do you got? Last thing
didn't-
you have on here is Nocturne.
Yeah, that's the last thing I beat.
Oh, damn.
The only game I've really been putting time into is Conan.
Nice. A4, what about you?
What's the last thing you have for me?
Super Mario Land, Diddy Kong Racing, and Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Okay, well, since then I have beaten Astro's Playroom.
Oh, gross.
That game's awesome. I cannot wait for the full Astrobot game to come out in September. That's gonna.
No, wait, was that a DLC or a real game? 'Cause if it doesn't count if it's just a half game.
It's a real game.
Is it?
I got a platinum trophy for it, so.
Wow.
I also beat
Talk
Pokemon
bullshit.
Red.
Who is your final team?
Charizard, Nidoking, Gyarados, Vileplume, Raichu, and Alakazam.
Nice.
Yeah. And I also beat Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Everything but Conan Exiles.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you played a fucking 40-hour game.
Joe.
Yeah.
Oh. You know
Anything,
what, A4?
anything to watch Borderlands. Anything to get to Borderlands on
Yeah,
time.
you, the man who bitches about Borderlands at least 10 times
You know
more
what?
than
I'm
everyone
coming
else.
around-
You're not like, oh, I beat Conan yesterday. Guys, beat it. Please, Zach, come into the cave with me. Please. Here's the thing in order to get the thing in order to escape.
Hey, Zach did not run the dungeon with us to fight the Lich Queen King. So
No,
he
I need
didn't
help.
get the
I'm gonna
mask.
help with that because I had a call out.
I have
for
2
work.
copies of the mask, so I could just give you one. But
Oh, sick! That'd be awesome. I mean, I want to fight the boss to be honest with you, so we
It's
can
a
run
cool
that again.
boss. It's a cool
I would,
boss. We should
I
try
would very much enjoy that because, like I said, I'm having fun with this game, which is wild, and I didn't think I'd say that. But
despite my complaints about the PS5/4 version running not so good, I'm still having fun with it because it's just a great fucking game. But
it's really fun, dude. Honestly,
it is that thing where like I wish it ran better, but because it's so janky, it's almost better.
it was awesome when A4 like died and had to run all the way back the last time we fought the snake boss, and then had locked himself outside of the dungeon. And
Oh,
we all
yeah.
killed him.
Yeah,
And me, Schweiss, and Jace killed a 3-skull Komodo dragon.
Yeah.
while you were running back.
Because you have to do like a human sacrifice to open up the door to the dungeon to get to the Abyssal Remnant. And I died before we could get it. So like as I'm running back from base camp after dying to get to this dungeon, I just see the door closing in front of me. I'm like, guys, I'm stuck out here. There's no people alive for me to drag over here and kill. So like, yeah, that was cool.
So what else did you beat, you cheating whore?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay.
You cheating whore.
Look, just because I have
Nude
time
Clan.
just because I enjoy video games and I play other video games in my waking life doesn't mean that you have to be jealous, okay? You also
In your
have that
various
ability.
day life?
My various
waking-
in my various
day
daylight
life?
and my singular night death, I play a bunch of other video games that I just enjoy for the sake of enjoying them, not just for the show. So,
Oh,
Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
That's-
hey, I have a brand new not a brand new, but I have a PS5.
You don't believe in loyalty, A4? You don't believe in the other parts of this relationship?
I do, but I also
Not just
like,
what's fun for you?
I also like
You were
playing
supposed
Final
to
Fantasy.
destroy the Sith, not join them.
I have faith in the relationship we have. I'm trying to beat Conan, but at the same time, I also
A4.
like playing Final Fantasy Remake at 60 frames per second. It's nice.
A4, we have a podcast together. We have a union, as it were.
We do not have a
And
union.
you are
do not
you
use
are
that
breaking
specific word.
apart from that union
No, I'm not.
to
Look,
to
you guys-
philander
you-
with
no.
other video games.
no. You guys
that aren't on our list.
No. You guys are the main. You guys.
No.
Listen. You guys.
No, it's okay when you do it.
No, you guys are my one and only. But I got a few side pieces like Pokemon Red and Final Fantasy VII Remake that you know.
Jesus
I like to
Christ.
visit them from time to time because. you know,
Are they as good to you as Conan Exiles?
well, I
No,
mean,
there's
one of
no
them lets
way.
me do anal, so I mean, it's like you know.
I want you to
Pokemon
know.
One.
Bestiality?
I want you to know, Joe, that when I got on one time on PlayStation and I did see him, I was like, A4, I'm like, let's play together. And then I got on and it was Final Fantasy VII.
I was telling
like,
that.
really?
I was
You
telling that
fucking
story
asshole.
earlier. I was telling that
It's
story
like, you son of a bitch.
because I was saying that's like the
Yeah.
one good feature of the PS5 that no one's talking about is like you could just hop right back into the game. But
That
no.
is, you know,
Joe, there's a little bit of bestiality. Did you know that in terms of human Pokemon relationships, Vaporeon is the most compatible of the anyway, and that's where the copy pasta keeps going, and I don't know the rest of the copy pasta.
you do know the rest of it.
Oh, you
'cause it's
stole
terrible.
another. You stole another.
It's a
joke,
copy
A4?
pasta. It's not stolen. It's just a thing that you repeat. That's why it's called a copy pasta. I'll say the whole fucking thing if you want right here, right now.
No,
No,
I
don't do
don't.
it.
I don't.
Stop telling me
Caleb,
my ad block is updated. I know.
I didn't say anything about your ad block. Caleb, what did you beat?
So in this time, I have beaten
It's me.
Bravely Default,
Hell yeah, player.
Nice.
and that's it.
Nice.
Hey guys.
See, Twice has an excuse. Twice has orphans to take care of. What's
Hey
your
guys.
excuse?
Did you know that in terms of male human and female Pokemon breeding, Vaporeon is the most compatible Pokemon for humans? Not only are they in the field egg group, which is mostly comprised of mammals, Vaporeon are an average of 3 foot 3 inches tall and 63.9 pounds. This means they're large enough to be able to handle human dicks. And with their impressive base stats for HP and access to acid armor, you can be rough with one. Due to their mostly water-based biology, there's no doubt in my mind that an aroused Vaporeon would be incredibly wet. So wet that you could easily have sex with one for hours without getting sore. They can also learn the moves Attract, Baby Doll Eyes, Captivate, Charm, and Tail Whip, along with not having fur to hide nipples. So it'd be incredibly easy for one to get you in the mood. With their abilities Water Absorb and Hydration, they can easily recover from fatigue with enough water. No other Pokemon comes close to this level of compatibility.
How
Also,
did you make him read it?
also, fun fact, if you pull out enough, you can make your Vaporeon turn white. Vaporeon is literally built for human dick. Ungodly defense stat plus high HP pool plus acid armor means it can take a cock all day, all shapes and sizes, and still come for more. This is all to say that...
sorry, A4, I missed that. Could you say that one more time? My
is all-
internet went out for a second.
This is all to say that I named my Vaporeon in my Pokemon Red game compatible. So, how many nipples do they have, Phantom? I have no fucking clue.
Nice.
Yeah, he came too quick to notice.
I didn't even get her shirt off.
Yeah, he didn't even get his pants off.
Yeah.
Caleb, what was the last game I had on there?
The last one for you was Rebirth.
We lost one listener while I was reading.
Rebirth.
Yep.
Oh, Rebirth. FF7.
Final
Rebirth.
Fantasy VII
Of course.
Afterbirth.
I have, since Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, have been playing Bravely Default and beat Bravely Default. I also played Bravely Second and beat Bravely Second. And those are the 2 games that I have beat in that time.
Very nice. So, did we get everybody else? Yeah, we did, huh? Zach didn't beat anything.
Nope.
Fuck. All right. So the Nude Clan Hog for the hosts is as follows: A4 King Hog for the show with 20 games beaten this year.
Sure.
I am in second place with 6.
What?
Yeah. Joe is in third with 5.
What the fuck?
Zach is in last with 3. Yeah, I'm only ahead of you because you beat Xenogears and Twilight Princess last year, and I did not.
Also, you can't
So
call it.
see,
You
I'm
can't
ahead.
call it cheating if I'm like putting in overtime. All right.
See, Caleb
I'm
is
ahead
loyal.
because I
the
was
only
behind.
games that are on his beaten list are games that he's doing for the show. He's loyal
what?
to the show.
He doesn't have to do that. He can play whatever the fuck he wants.
God damn.
No, I made a commitment to the show, bitch.
To be
Yeah,
slow
same for
as fuck?
Zach.
Because I beat
wait, no,
Shin Megami Tensei
Dreamcutter.
3 before you did. So
Yeah, I was gonna say Dreamcutter's not. Dreamcutter's not.
Zach's got a 66% loyalty rating.
Hell
A4's
yeah.
got like fucking 1, 2 games.
We should tell his wife.
She doesn't care.
did you know he's cheating on Nude Clan with the rest of his gaming backlog?
You
Yeah.
better watch your back. A4's wife that I almost doxed her
You're
name.
gonna catch him in bed with Pokemon Stadium one of these nights.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a Vaporeon too.
Fucking Fulgrim
Guess what?
says A4, what do you think about Jinx's mouth pre-recoloration? And pretty good stuff. Also, I will say, speaking of Rebirth, it's bullshit during the Calm flashback that like Sephiroth doesn't throw the materia at him and then like rise up in the sky and float out of the fucking Shinra mansion basement like he does in the original.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten
That's true.
It's a bummer.
I haven't gotten far enough in Rebirth yet, obviously, but like what I'm remembering about Costa del Sol is there's a part where Hojo is just sitting on a beach chair surrounded by babes, but they make him like so slimy and evil in the remake. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna do that again, right? There's no fucking way. I can tell by Joe's smile that I'm in for something, but I don't want to spoil it. So
Yeah, it's a big section of the game actually. That Costa del Sol.
well, I know that
Yeah,
I know
especially
Costa
if
del
you're doing
Sol's
everything.
I know Costa del Sol's a big section. I'm just like thinking of that specific goofy moment. I'm like, there's no fucking way they're gonna have Hojo just sitting surrounded by beach babes, being like, "Oh hey, what's up, guys?" Like,
I really liked that game. I really had a good time in that game.
I'm enjoying
Honestly,
Rebirth
yeah.
so far.
both
I played.
Rebirth and Reimagined or Recycle or whatever.
Do you think they're gonna call
You
it
should
third
do the
one
Yuffie-
reunion or?
Yes.
But didn't they use that for Crisis Core?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, well,
And
there
I
you go.
don't know.
And yeah, I am.
don't
I
think so.
I got the Yuffie DLC. I'm gonna do the Yuffie DLC probably after I beat, or maybe close to when I'm beating hard, because I think if you beat the Yuffie DLC, you get access to a couple more fights that give you 2 more Gutter Damarungs, which is like the accessory that starts you off with the limit break.
Isn't that like the can of fish that makes everyone like dry heave when they open it?
Yeah. The Swedish
Okay.
delicacy Gutter Damarung. It's fermented fish in a pressurized can. Yeah, that's why it
Yeah,
activates
with
your limit
this-
break. You crack it, and the boss is just like, "Oh god!" He's immediately staggered.
And he's got every status effect. He can't see. He
Yeah.
can't fucking. He can't feel.
Yeah. But I want to get the platinum because I never did it on the original. Because I remember like looking at hard mode and being like, "Oh, you can't use items, and you only heal HP at benches," and I'm like, I kind of don't want to do that
Oh,
right now because I
You got
played,
magic and then chakra and like pray.
Yes.
It's a really good time.
Yes,
Hard
but,
mode was
like-
so much fun.
No, I'm enjoying it so far, but like I think back then I didn't want to because like when I was trying to beat remake for the first time, I ended up playing like within 2 days I played like the last few chapters, and like that Hojo section near the end of the game goes on for
My
so
God,
fucking
the Hojo level,
long.
yeah.
It goes on for so long, and then you got to do like 18 fucking boss fights against Sephiroth and all this other shit. Because all I remember about that game from the first time I played through it was just like, man, the ending really takes a long time. It drags. And this time I kind of like took my time with it. So I'm like, yeah, I can do hard mode. I can fucking, yeah, why not?
Dude, it had the ending for that game had the same effect on me as it did in Fire Emblem Three Houses, where I was just like, came in the last level, and then it just kept fucking going for 4 more levels, and I was like, oh my god.
But I mean, back then
I like this game, but Jesus Christ.
Back then I didn't know how long those last few levels were going to take. I'm like, oh, it's Hojo's lab. How long could this possibly take? 2 hours. And then it's like 2 more hours of like fighting Rufus and the Fates and all this, and this fucking hour-long fucking bike thing where I got to fight the thing with the 6 wheels. But yeah, now that I have like the foresight to know like, okay, this is going to take a while, I can pace myself a little better. So
Just wait till you get to the next one. It's gonna take a fucking long while.
yeah, I had a
A
feeling.
really long time. If I didn't even 100% it, and my time is like 120 plus hours.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
not
getting my
even
money's
close
worth.
to 100%.
We didn't warn you about this A4?
No, you did. You did. I just,
Okay.
you know.
A4
I'm well
famously
aware.
doesn't listen.
No, I've been listening to everyone who has said that Rebirth has like too much content, and I'm like, all right, well, it's one of like 3 PS5 games I have right now, so I'll get my money's worth.
I hate that criticism. Like I hate it. Like,
I would agree with you on that.
You can just plow through the story if that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
So
but like I
the
very
fact
much
that a
am the
game
guy.
has more on top of that,
and
you're bitching about it.
No, I'm not bitching about it. What I'm saying is like a lot of people have said it has too much content, and like as I know
I'm
how
not talking to you, A4.
Okay.
I'm talking to them.
But I know how
I would-
I know how I like to play these things, and I
Wrong.
like to try and complete as much as I can before moving on. So, which is why I never beat Spider-Man because
I mean,
So really,
out
it's
the map.
about people that are OCD, and like this game is not good for OCD people.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's that gamers like to bitch, and if a game is too short and it doesn't, and I'll agree with the too short consensus where it's like that wasn't worth my money. I can definitely understand that. But yeah, bitching that a game has too much content is bullshit because like they just don't play it. Like
I mean,
want
could you imagine?
games are $70 fucking now. Like you better fucking make it worth my while.
Yeah. Could
think
you imagine back in the day buying Gun on the PS2 for $50 and 100%ing it in 8 hours? Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, I'd be fucking
it's an.
livid.
Is it a fucking awesome game? Yeah, but I fucking bought it one night and I beat it and 100%ed it, and I returned it to GameStop the next morning. Like it was, I don't even think it was 8 hours, dude. I was like, this game's fucking sweet. Like, oh, this is awesome. It's like a really bitchin' Western. I'm scalping people. Like, holy fuck. And then like I just did it and everything was done. I'm like, really? Fucking like 7 hours? This whole fucking game? I got all the gold. I got all the bounties. Got all the wanted posters. Like, I would have been pissed if I had paid more than the like $8 that I paid for it.
What sucks now too is like even used games at like GameStop are fucking way overpriced.
Mhm.
Like if it has any kind of like thing where it's like, oh, this is going to be a fun one that someone just wanted to put in, it's still like $40 to $50.
Yeah,
And it's
paid,
like, well, if it's that much, why wouldn't I? I would just buy the new one or go to Amazon where it's like going to be cheaper. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking ridiculous.
I paid $60 for Rebirth used, and I paid $40 for 16 used. But I mean,
60 used?
yeah, because it was like brand new.
because
It was like a
new
month
game.
ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
all right.
16's like almost a year old, so like 40 kind of makes sense. But like it's whatever.
I
wanna
need to
play it
fucking
anyway.
beat 16 too.
Um,
16 so fun.
I think the only time that like a game having too much content is a negative is when you're just wanting to fucking finish it and you're getting bored of it while like it's taking so long, which that's extremely rare. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, if it's stuff you have to do to beat it, then I could say that's true.
Yeah, if you
I
have
mean,
a
with
podcast you have to play, like you have to beat fucking Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hackers Memories, and it's like 50 hours of bullshit, then I can understand.
it's
Like, if you're
playing
getting- if
too
you're
this-
much
getting bored
content
of-
being a problem.
If you're getting bored of like Persona 5, 70 hours in, it's like, boy, I got bad news for you. You got 40 more hours of that shit. So it's like,
Or you have to watch the Final Fantasy 14 cutscenes.
mhm.
You just
Yeah.
have to. You
Yeah.
can't skip them because you have a fucking podcast to do.
Yeah, I don't.
If
I
you're ever in
don't.
that situation, then I can understand.
I don't
Now-
think Rebirth is going to be that for me. I think I'm going to be able to stick with it, despite wanting to do. a
Oh,
lot
it's
of the
better
extra
than
stuff.
14. Don't worry.
I'm not saying it's worse than 14. I'm just saying I don't think I've heard you guys saying that it's got a lot of content in it, and I'm like, okay, I think I can deal. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
just expect to spend a lot of time, and then the stupid thing is I'm getting mad at it, but it's like really I'm doing it to myself, and so I can't get mad at it, but I am mad at it.
I'm excited to
like,
see
at
this
the same
card game you
time.
guys have been jizzing about for the past few fucking months.
Oh, it's sweet.
Oh, the card game is amazing. I wish the card game. I wish there was twice as much card game in there.
Yeah, and there's a lot actually. There's kind of a lot of card game. If you
If
do all
Square
the
was smart,
extra
they just release it as
challenges.
its own app, like what they did for Gwent. But Square is not
No,
smart.
if Square
so-
was smart, they would let you hook up with other players online and play the game.
well, that's what the
yeah,
app would be.
and
but-
have
no, but it
occasional
should be
updates.
in game.
Yeah, and I want occasional updates to the in-game so I can go earn the cards to then fuck my buddies
Yeah.
over with. Like it's like, oh, we updated the game. There's 10 more cards to collect, and you could play online with them.
Yeah,
It's
or
like
if
I'm
you got
going-
like cards for each of the major bosses, and then for doing some of the extra stuff, you get cards on top of that. It's just more of a reward system.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be fucking
could have used
sweet.
that, and it's just not enough of a good thing. That's the problem. I
But
need
there's a
more
lot
cards.
of it though. Still, there's still a lot of it.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. Yeah. Once that was done, I was like,
I guess I'll beat it.
yeah, I guess we'll plow now. Fuck, nothing else. I
Diamond
want.
Weapon? Fuck that. I want to play more Queen's Blood. I know
Yeah,
Diamond
right.
Weapon's not in the game, but just
But also correct.
Nope. Yeah.
Speaking of werewolves within, it's
did
a
you
20
did you like the line where he forcibly said it? Where he was like, police protocol when werewolves are within the house.
I did.
Bro,
I
that
liked
dude
a
was
lot.
that guy was so awkward in the best way. His delivery on stuff was pretty good. I enjoyed his awkwardness. In this
Yeah, I'm gonna say it at the front here. This is a pretty good movie, actually. It's actually good.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
Anyway,
I like this movie too.
I cut off Joe's info dump. Sorry.
You've never apologized for cutting Joe off for a million times before. That's crazy.
It's okay. Sam Richardson's the actor, by the way. 2021, so the perfect time to release a movie. American mystery comedy horror film directed by Josh Rubin from a screenplay by Mishna Wolf, who, by the way, Mishna Wolf had two credits on her IMDb, and they both had Wolf in the title. Let me see if I can find this.
Wait,
So
who's Mishina Wolf again?
I looked up both the director and the screenwriter. Josh Rubin, or whatever the director's name was, apparently was one of the guys who worked at College Humor. I don't know if you remember watching those. So I was like,
Yes.
that's weird. I remember him. And then Michelle Wolf, or whatever her name is, she was married to Mark Maron at some point.
Mark Maron. That's right. I
Which
was
is
pulling her up.
Yeah.
So she's worked on some podcasts, but the writing credits that she has two in the film and television industry. One is Werewolves Within, and the other one is Wolf Like Me. And her pen name or name, I don't know, is Mishna Wolf. I'm gonna kill
Is she a furry?
No, but she did write a memoir which is all about race, which I think is why all the characters talk the way they do in this movie, where they're constantly bringing up social issues.
I don't really know. I've never heard of I'm Down, a memoir.
I haven't either. I just saw that it had to do with race. I'm like, well, that explains it.
another
A
thing
woman
that she
wrote this. That's
wrote.
why they're talking about that's why there's a Republican couple in this movie. They're like, it's Antifa. They got our sign.
You're saying that. I actually thought that it was kind of all sides were made fun of.
No, it was
pretty heavily.
it was.
I
Don't get me
agree.
wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me
I
wrong.
agree with that.
It was funny. It's the last time I had a funny movie was the last Uwe Boll movie, and this one was actually funny, and it was funny in kind of similar ways that Uwe Boll is. It's insult everybody, ridiculous things happen. I didn't laugh as hard as I did at the
Well, I mean, they
Canadian
didn't make a Nazi gold joke in this movie.
yeah, or
So
have
I
Well,
like
nothing is. Nothing is beating Postal. So
Yeah, like a minute and a half straight montage of children being shot.
That was so fucking funny.
It's like you don't think it's funny, but it's hilarious. Like it's just because it goes on forever.
I also I like where he fucking picks the kid up and like has him take the shot for Uwe Boll, and he just keeps running.
See, the problem is it's a horror comedy, but I didn't think it was that funny, and I didn't think it was that scary. So
it wasn't scary. No, I was for the R rating. They just used it to say fuck a lot. Dude, I wanted more gore.
The first time the AT&T lady said fuck, and I had to like look up. I'm like, wait a minute, is this an R-rated movie? Because like you look at the box art for the game this is based on, and it looks like a kid's game. And then I like look at the fucking thing. I'm like, no, this is rated R. What the fuck is going on here?
Well, hold on. The whole town is filled with innuendos. The place is called like Beaver Slide or whatever. Beaver Grove or something.
Look,
and
I
was like ours. We just have Beaver here, so that one's kind of.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't pick up on any of that.
What the fuck?
I'm dead
You're
fucking
really not.
serious. I did not pick up on that. I am dead serious.
There was sexual innuendo with like every like thing in the background. It was never like a sexual funny movie like in the front.
Right.
But it was all this like background shit. But they did have the one super obvious one, which was scene 2, where the guy is listening to like some sort of like Tony Robbins like pump you up kind of
like a self affirmation tape.
Self tape or something.
Balls,
and he keeps on like saying like that he has balls, and he's like, I have balls, and then it card cuts to this like welcome to Beaver Stuffer or whatever town, and it's
like Beaver Grove, isn't there?
It's like this beautiful phallic.
It's Vagina Valley.
It's beautiful phallic like oil pipeline like factory like shaped.
It's a tube
sign.
with fire coming out the top, and then there's two little drums at the bottom. They look like balls.
So how did you miss that, A4?
I was trying to figure out what volume I needed to have my TV at so that I could hear the dialogue and not destroy the neighborhood.
As soon as that sign came up and it said Beaver Grove, I did like the Ron Swanson little giggle. It was just like,
look, you guys are immature and you're looking for all these funny little innuendos, and I'm trying to take the movie fucking seriously like an actual film critic and watch the thing. So I'm sorry.
It stars Sam Richardson. And it stars Milana Weintraub.
She has a weird last name, but it's the AT&T girl that everyone was fucking freaking out over like a couple years ago.
They should still be freaking out over, honestly.
I mean, I am. She was hot in this movie too.
About a small Vermont town who gets trapped in a snowstorm, only to suspect one of them is a werewolf. Like this small group of people in this town, one of them is a werewolf, and then there's like all these really like stereotyped characters that fill this town.
You have like the redneck and his like redneck girlfriend. You have the gay couple, and then you have like the super. Well, he's not like super conservative, but like he's just kind of like the stoic white guy, the stoic businessman white guy, and then you have.
No, he totally was super. He was supposed to be super conservative. That was what they were making.
Well, when you find out he's got all that fucking hunting gear and his fucking, like, we're going into full spoilers, by the way.
Well, then you have the person who you thought was going to be the actual werewolf, which is the trapper that lives out in the boonies.
Yeah,
he was in his own fuck. God, dude. So one of the answers I don't remember seeing. Did they say if the werewolf actually killed the hotel owner's husband, or do we not know?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, she does.
Okay, because I thought she did, but then I don't remember.
This is your last chance to get out if you want to watch this movie. You don't want
spoilers are. By the way, I do actually care about spoilers on this one because I do actually think this was a good movie and I do recommend it. And I think people should watch it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, hey, we're
okay,
have to talk about
10, 9, 8, 7. I'm not counting anymore.
So the reason why she killed him was because she needed his mailman outfit.
That wasn't her husband, was it?
That was, yes. At the beginning of the movie.
Oh, I didn't connect that.
It was the hotel owner's husband.
I saw that she killed him, but I didn't realize.
At the end of the.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't connect her last name to it, and you don't really see his body, so I didn't. Yeah.
They don't really focus on his body, but yeah, it's the guy who gets murdered in the very fucking beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, it starts off just immediately on like these comic beats. It kind of has like a, it's got kind of a quirky, funny character pitter patter dialogue thing, but at the same time, it also has like these really fun, like edits and cinematic kind of like undercutting the horror.
Yeah, the editing
parts
is good,
of the movie.
But that's what I was going to say. Is I was surprised it was an R-rated movie because it starts out so like kind of goofy and like
it's really broad comedy.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
as well
like,
with the comedy too is they sneak some rapid fire like things too that if you're actively not paying attention you'll miss because they overtalk each other sometimes and you have to like listen to what they're saying.
Yeah, no, so like the conservative couple with like the signs out front, like the one guy says like he like salutes the ranger and the ranger guy says like never left, like meaning his hand, and he's like I'll follow you there, brother. He's like not what he meant. Like
Yeah.
They put next to my goddamn sign. It's damn Antifa. They're just fucking. The fact that they've had the gay couple in a yoga studio too was pretty funny.
That being said, I don't remember any of the fucking characters' names, but
No, yeah, that's.
All I remember is Joaquin because he goes, "It's Joaquin with an M." That's all I remember.
yeah, that's just you if you were gay, but.
That's all I remember. Wow, fucking.
I
awesome.
honestly thought when I saw The Hunter for the first time, I'm like, Zach was in this movie. He never told
With the fucking guy with the no trespassing signs all over his house.
yeah. It's like
Dude,
when he was in the fur costume, I was like, that looks like Zach.
That was also a good. That was a good like call forward that you didn't realize at the time. But it opens with a quote from, and then you find it like hard cut to like it's Mr. Rogers,
Dude,
and then later he's like
love
talking about being a good neighbor.
Yeah.
He's like Mr. Rogers, and then the Hunter guy's like who? And then later he
Okay,
says,
but then at the end where he's like, "I want him."
like Mr. Rogers.
That was my favorite payoff for a joke, though. Was I thought it'd be like Mr. Rogers.
Dude, that was payoff from moment one of the movie with that opening
it's-
Mr. Rogers quote. It was
Yeah.
beautifully done.
So
Beautifully
Yeah.
done.
I thought that worked well. I thought that was funny.
it was good.
Yeah, I actually had like when there was like a little romantic subplot between the main guy and the AT&T girl. And she's like, "Why don't you kiss me now?" And I'm like, "This doesn't work. Like, this is terrible. This is terribly forced." And then there's actually that whole thing later when she's like reveals like, "Of course that was too easy." And I'm like, "Oh my god, now it makes sense," because I thought it was like a horrible
she's like,
piece of writing
one of
in the middle
the-
of this movie that I liked.
Okay, with that,
I thought that was really clever. I thought it was
the line that where she's like, you know, werewolves are real, but women who like listen to you do this and get turned on by your trip to Yellowstone, they're fake. And I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was
I was
saying
like,
she was
fuck.
saying like, well, I was gonna like be nice and like turn you into one of us, but you're just too fucking nice.
I like how he tries not to swear like the whole movie too. Like
Let's get the heck
he
out of
tries
here.
not to, but then like at the end where he's like, "Heavens to oh fuck," and I was like, perfect. It's so good. Oh,
Good. I mean, oh, gosh, even just the opening, like the first kill in the movie, where the guy's just like, "Hello," like just the way he says, just the way he said that. I was so ready for this to be another Far Cry movie. I was ready for that. I was like,
No, there
this is gonna
is,
be
like,
low budget
actual-
bullshit. And then this started, and I was like, no, this is like 5 seconds in. I'm like, this is great. Why the fuck did I judge this movie based upon it being a video game movie?
There
Turns out
is
it
like
has
actual
the highest
production
Rotten
to
Tomato
this.
score. It has the highest Rotten Tomato score of any video game movie.
That's.
As an 86.
I'm not surprised,
Rotten
but at the
Tomatoes.
same time, I am because like.
Well, I mean, they're all so trashy. So the fact that we have like this little indie darling, like comedy coming up right at the end, I wasn't ready for that, and also
Yeah.
hadn't heard about this movie at all.
I didn't want to watch it because, again, like he said, I never heard of it. Game I never heard of.
Yeah.
I thought it was like an iPhone game.
Well, no, because
I
you
don't
look
know.
at the
I had no idea
what
it
like Dead
was.
Trigger, yeah, but you look at the game
Yeah.
box and it's like okay, so the big difference between this movie and the game is that like the movie takes place in modern day, like they talk about Antifa and all this other shit. The game is like medieval, and it's basically like a medieval version of Among Us, where it's like one of you is the werewolf and you have to figure out who using social deduction, which is why the movie's
Yeah,
like
like
that, where they're
Clue.
all trapped in the bed and breakfast, and they have to figure out who's a werewolf among them.
Yeah.
So,
fucking dude that gets
and I
hand
don't-
bit off too.
I don't really think it would have worked if it was medieval themed, but at the same time, it just felt like such a giant. Like this could have been its own movie, not based on the video game at all, really. Because
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah. I mean, it's just a whodunit mystery, really.
yeah.
I liked, so at the beginning I didn't really like understand what her the big main chick's exposition was, where she was like telling him about like everyone's secrets in the town. But I like how later in the movie they all come up. Like when you get the redneck, spoilers again, when the redneck chick backs into her husband who's like trying to rob everyone, and then she's like yelling at him to go, and you fucking just see her brains hit the window, and she's like, and you're like, what the fuck? Like everything kind of like came together too at the end, where it's like people were getting revenge on each other for the things they did in this small town.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was like really clever and pretty funny throughout.
I do have to say the ending was pretty predictable.
Yeah,
'Cause
her
by
being the one. Yeah,
by the end,
that
I'm
was
like,
predictable.
okay, one of these two is the fucking werewolf, and my money's on the chick. And
I was hoping it was the lady that ran the hotel. That's what I was thinking it was going to be.
But they do leave good red herrings throughout to sort of make you think like, okay, is this person the werewolf? Like, and you're not even sure. Like, the werewolf thing doesn't really come in until like the last 5 fucking minutes. So it's just like, is this just all in their fucking heads?
It's
is there
true.
not a real werewolf?
Yeah.
Like that was a good
Yeah.
use of that.
I like how the
'cause that
one.
was
Sorry, go.
good. Oh,
No, you're
okay.
good.
I was like, it could just be there is no werewolf, because they find clues.
That's
that
what I
lead
mean.
that to
Like
maybe be the thing.
even at the end
Yeah.
of the movie, I'm like, is there going to be a werewolf twist? Like, there's got to be, but like, they led me along just enough where I'm like, maybe they were all just nuts. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like it definitely could have been played too that it was the what's his name, dude,
the pipeline guy.
the pipeline guy, because he could have been killing people in the guise of that as well, because he wants his pipeline to go through.
Which
so
is
it definitely could have been
basically
that
like
too.
how the movie almost ends, and then it turns out she's the werewolf. But like, yeah,
Still would, honestly, still.
the makeup on her wasn't super great, but I liked the cut at the very end where it's like that wide angle shot, and it's the mountain man and the ranger talking, and then like you see her just slowly get up in the background.
Yeah, he like rips the thing out of her throat.
Yeah. And I was like, that was good. There was good
that was pretty
cinematography
good
and there was
visual
good
effect there.
editing in this movie.
Yeah, I really like the way the movie looked. I mean, it's really hard to make a movie feel big when you're in a small, contained space, which is obviously like part of saving budget for the movie. Obviously, you could tell whenever it was a wide shot or something like that, it was something done in Photoshop or like,
Yeah.
but like the hotel was a good like character as a location, and then they really utilized the space really well. So I thought the directing in it was fantastic. Honestly, I was looking at how they were staging characters and staging even like the little bits of action and visual effects that they were able to have. I loved how they, outside of the very end, which is almost like, kind of what you're building up to, they don't really all the action is kind of off screen, but it's cleverly done off screen. I even like the explosion. It's obviously a little.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say that.
The explosion like way in the distance with no sound. I just thought that was so clever. It was such a clever way to do that on clearly what was like a pretty low budget.
Yeah.
Especially with that cast. It seems like they spent a lot of money on the cast. And then the one location they had, and then probably they didn't want to spend any money on anything else. And they really utilized it well. It was beautifully shot, beautiful colors, and great production design. And I really loved. This is a little nerdy, but they kept on using these. Like most of the movie was shot on this like wide angle lens with not spherical, but anamorphic lenses, so you could tell.
Hey, your body's beautiful.
When the light was hitting the lens, it kind of had these like streaks that went through it, and that could have been digitally aided, and they could have maybe done that like with like fake anamorphic, but I think it was real anamorphic.
Like the one shot that really, in that kind of sense, that stuck out of my mind is when the pipeline guy breaks into the other door to get to the doctor lady. And you have the bullet holes in the door, and you just see the muzzle flash like light up those holes a couple times. And I was like, that's a good ass shot.
I like there were little clever moments. I think one of them was when he reaches down for the hand, or he reaches down into the snow and the hand comes up out of him, and he just like half screams.
Holy shit!
That
And
little-
it cuts away.
There was a visual gag there with that hand coming out, and I thought it was probably like if that was in the movie theater, I bet that would have worked pretty well as a jump scare.
Yeah.
And then when the like really, because there's the really conservative, guy, who's trying to get the pipeline in, but then there's also the environmentalist, like really liberal lady that's there, and she's there to stop it or whatever. But like the conversation that she has in the like bullet holes through the door, just like the framing of her mouth, like while they're having this conversation back and forth, I love that too. I thought that was super super clever, visual kind of blocking there. It was a lot of fun.
That jump scare though that goes. I think there was also a good like line when she's like, "You look like you seen a dead body," and he's like, "You're right.
Yeah.
I did."
Gosh, what else? This movie came out. It was world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival in 2021, which is one of the big indie film festivals. Had a limited theatrical release in the U.S. On June 25th, 2021, followed by a video on demand release by IFC Films on July 2nd. Now, June 2021, that was still pretty heavy into the COVID times.
Yeah, not a great.
Not a great time to release a movie. There was a reported budget of $6.5 billion and a box office, and this is at the movie theater. The box office numbers was $991,000.
Yeah.
$991 million would have been amazing for them. Yeah, highest critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic for a film based on a video game. Man, I would have been much more excited to watch this if I had read the Wikipedia before we were in this, because I was like, God, I'm gonna watch another one of these goddamn pieces of shit. But no, yeah. So Ubisoft wanted to make a motion picture of their game, and then after the movie Scare Me, which was apparently like a little indie darling, I think that was a Sundance film.
It was the same director, yeah.
Yeah, Josh Rubin. He had that movie, and then Ubisoft basically had him play some of their game and see if he could make a movie out of it. But yeah, it was just a little indie darling that was released limitedly, and I guess it did well on iTunes. It was like one of the top rented movies on iTunes when it came out. So hopefully it made some of its money back.
Yeah.
But there's not a bunch on this movie. Not a great time to release a movie.
There's really not a lot of info. Like, I think it was well shot. I think it was well edited. I wasn't really a big fan of a lot of the characters, but I think that was kind of by design. As the movie went on, you realize, like, oh yeah, a lot of these characters just are kind of assholes and they hate each other, and that's kind of the point.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be a problem with the movie too, but
yeah,
all like the major problems I had with the movie were like solved by the third act. I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
it's like it's not that subtle with this. It's like every person in the town is some segment of like probably American society.
Yeah,
and there's only the one guy in town that's kind of got their head on straight and just kind of wants to be a nice person to everyone, and just kind of like is just trying to do their job, and it's our main guy, and everybody else is some sort of like extreme stereotype, I guess. And it really plays on those, and it plays on them. What's crazy is you would think with like a 2021 Hollywood movie that they would be like scared of doing some of these stereotypes, sure, but some of the other ones, like the gay couple, were like Jeremy Piven in Rush Hour 2 level of gay stereotype. Like, it was so it was crazy how far they kind of went with that stuff. I really like the gay guys. I really like the gay guys, and I like the creepy husband. Especially when he's like trying to get with the post office girl.
I will sleep with my wife unless anyone wants my gun in their room. Whatever the post office girl's name is.
It's Cecily. It's Cecily.
Yeah, sure. AT&T girl, if you want. And she's like, no.
That guy has like 4 lines in the movie, but him delivering that one line, I just thought, oh man, God, he did such a good job.
Well,
with
it's just
that.
like the little subtle things where like he's trying to like go in to hug her and she just like ducks out of the fucking way. Like,
Yeah.
and then they pay it off
yeah.
later when it's like, yeah, I bit off his hand. I probably should have bit off both his hands. I don't know.
I also the gay guys, so much fun. God, dude, the gay
Yeah,
guys.
the cattiness of the one husband was so fucking funny.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I wrote down the line. Well, they're in the forest and they're scared. And then the one guy goes, "I'll fuck you up so hard." Like,
It was like almost Caleb Craig-esque.
oh man, dude, that had me dying.
Oh, dude, when the super conservative chick though like kills the one gay guy, she's like, "I want my craft store," and then just fucking stabs him in the throat. I was like, "Oh."
She was probably like my least favorite character in the whole thing, just because like she wouldn't shut the fuck up about her stupid Papillon.
Yeah, her squealing about the dog was a little rough.
Yeah.
But
And I'm glad they paid off the thing with the collar in the woodsman's cabin at the end, because I was like, how did that get? And then
how?
yeah. Oh, she put it there. Duh. Like.
Let's see. Oh, there's common humanity speech that underlines the theme of the film. Love the twist. Love the Mr. Rogers callback with Flint. Flint is clearly Quint from Jaws when they're going and like, you need to hunt the wolf for us. Instead of you need to hunt the shark.
No.
I really love the intro to Dr. Ellis. When they're all like, the one, like the dog dies and she's freaking out, and then everybody like turns to our main guy, and then he just does like a sideways like step, and then she's there like in the hallway.
Yeah.
Love
Her
that
acting
moment.
was so weird though, because like she was acting weird like the whole time, and then she gets all drunk, and like I thought she was gonna like come to the conclusion like, oh, it's a fucking werewolf, but like she never once says that. Like she's just a weird character.
She says that. She's like, it's a lichen, whatever.
Oh, yeah, she said a lichen
No,
throat.
she says
She did
that,
say
but
lichen
like
throat.
for like most of the movie, she's just like she's acting like a robot in like a weird way. Like I don't know.
I think it's because she's supposed to be like this nerdy shut-in, because she said she spends most of her time in the forest.
Yeah. It was just.
So I don't think she got a lot of human contact.
Like, and I guess that was part of the red herring of like, is she the werewolf? But then she like kills
Yeah.
herself.
So actually, going back to what you're saying about her personality, I liked also the scene where the hotel owner is like trying to get comforted because they find her husband's body. She keeps Louise. And she goes to like touch like the doctor lady, and she like just goes, "Okay, you can go now." And the lady like doesn't know what to do. And she just like the awkwardness. Yeah, there was some good like uses of awkwardness in this movie, especially with the main guy.
But again, if like again, not all of it falls on the director, but the fact that he like worked at College Humor, I kind of got that vibe once I like read that. I'm like, oh, okay. A lot of the humor of this kind of makes more sense now. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of got like that pitter pattery kind of quick cut sort of tone to a lot of it. But it is quite a bit more visual than a College Humor short.
Yeah, it's got a way bigger budget. But I mean, like, I could kind of get, once I read that, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see the vibe of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of it falls on the scriptwriter, so, and the editor, so it's not all the director, but it, if he's steering the ship, definitely got that kind of feel out of it.
No, so I really liked it. I don't really have anything else to say about it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
When I like a movie, I'm like, I got like 3 things to say about it. I liked it, and yeah, maybe some of the acting was a little hammy, but if I had seen this in like a full crowd at a movie, like at a film festival, like which is exactly the kind of movie that would play at a little horror film festival, it's like some random little horror comedy like this, it would have brought the house down. People would have loved it.
And I think though, like when you get into like the essence of like horror movies, they need to be hammy. There needs to be the hammed up stuff. I mean, if you look at Scream, if you look at Friday the 13th, if you look at like Nightmare on Elm Street, those are elements that make them what they are. So I think it's or campy, I guess is another way to say it. But I think like you need those elements to balance out what's going on.
I said this before we started recording. Resident Evil Raccoon City.
Oh, you love that movie.
and this movie have a lot of similarities in terms of what's superficially there. And I would say that Raccoon Shitty wishes it was Werewolves with it. It wishes it was that funny. It wishes it had that much to say. It wishes it looked this good and you could see it.
Yeah. It wishes it had the lights lighting this movie.
It's like Raccoon City would go from like these horror moments and then it would do like these ironic things. But the whole movie was like, the movie wasn't set up that way. It didn't work at all. And this one I thought worked way better. It's like isolated town, monsters coming out, no one knows what's going on. You got the one official, like all these things, all these elements, and even like the horror mixed with the comedy elements. It worked so much better in this movie, like so much better. So
because it wasn't even so much horror. It wasn't even so much horror as it was just sort of like suspense and thriller. Because
I wouldn't say
it wasn't scary. It wasn't scary, but it had werewolves.
No. But I mean, like all of the tension was built up without like. You didn't see a monster until the very, very, very end of the movie. It's all just sort of like, is it all in their heads? Is there an actual werewolf? What the fuck's going on?
Dude, actually going back with that, I don't understand why the gashes in the like generator are so big when her nails are not that big. Like she still has her dainty little hands.
It's based on a fucking video game. What do you want?
I want screen accuracy. But no, I just thought of that. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But then again, it doesn't matter. It's just something I noticed.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat as Joe. I don't really have much to say. I had a good time watching it, and I thought it was fucking funny. Yeah, it worked. And it's like it seems like a weird game to make a movie about, but honestly, it's actually kind of perfect. It's like a mystery. It's like a whodunit, and then, they're trapped in a house. It's like Clue or
Among Us.
Fucking, yeah, or Among Us, the game, or like Murder on the Orient Express, the classic Agatha Christie book. It's like, except for in this one, they're not all the werewolf. Spoilers for that. That's a great book, by the way. But
what about that movie that just came out like a couple years ago?
There's like 5 movie versions of that book.
No, the one that like just came out that like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I never watched that one, but
okay.
With Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. But no, it was good, and it's like, it seems like a weird game because you never heard of it, but that also kind of makes it perfect because you don't have the this is what I expected going in, and it's a murder mystery.
You watch this movie not knowing it's based on a video game, and then you see at the credits like, based on the video game, Werewolves Within, and you look up the box art and you're like, this is what the fuck? It's like a wizard and like a Jafar guy and like something, yeah. But I would agree that I don't have a lot to say, but that's because I'm not as hot on this movie as you guys were. I felt like for a lot of it felt like very kind of by the numbers in a sense. Like I didn't want to be as mean to say that like this movie almost felt like it was made by AI, but I think the third act does save it. So I think I'm just carrying my feelings from watching like the first 2 parts of the movie. And then by the time it gets to the end, it like kind of ties up all the loose ends and like actually justifies everything, including like why all the characters are kind of assholes, or like why the main character is kind of like a wimp. It's like his whole character arc. But like I really didn't like him in the start, and then I think by the end it sort of like justifies him and the rest of the movie. So yeah, no, I did like this movie. I wasn't.
I like how she calls him a beta male.
Yeah, there's a lot of that like modern day internet lingo in this movie.
I mean, but it is modern day, so it makes sense. And honestly, if she's a werewolf too, it kind of makes sense that she'd be saying like some of the things she did because she's like learning as she goes too. So
it doesn't mean she's like a wolf. It means she's like a girl who turns into a wolf.
Yeah, but she doesn't like really talk to people that much. Like she's in remote places, so she can get away with murder.
Getting away with murder.
Also, totally would. Werewolf or not, totally would. 100%. Every day.
I don't know if anybody feels differently from you, Zach.
I don't think they do either, but I need to just dibs it, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah. I'll dibs the werewolf puss if no one else will.
Yeah, dude, it's a little hairy, but I like the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
We'll show her the alpha and the omega.
Yeah.
Is that what you call your balls?
Yes, balls. That was great at the end too, when he's yelling balls and throwing the hatchets at her at the axe throwing place.
Yeah.
You know what? It's okay to be fucking nice. It's good. It's a good movie.
Any last thoughts?
No, I can't wait to have a real shitter out of the Borderlands
about
movie
to
to
say.
ruin it all.
I saw the trailer. It was a little rough. It was a little rough.
Yeah.
Which means the
time.
movie's going to be even more rough.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's directed by Eli Roth. He's made movies I've
Yeah,
heard
but it's
of.
based on Borderlands.
Yeah. He's a better actor than he is a director, I think. I think the Hostel movies
I've
are
only
gross.
seen Knock Knock.
I've only seen like the
Which-
opening third of Knock Knock.
I mean, I think it was worth watching, but it was a very uneven movie.
I said it to my friend
Yeah.
when I watched it because I was like, yeah, I kind of just wanted to see him have sex with those two hot girls, and then I realized they're going to ruin his life, and I didn't want to see that, so I turned the movie off. So as far as I know, that
Keanu
movie
Reeves have hot sex with two hot chicks.
well, because it was basically a porno at that point. Like they do all the build up
Right.
and then, but I don't want to see him like smashing plates and then like I know there's like a scene where they like bury him up to his neck in the yard or something,
yeah.
and I'm like, I don't want to see that. I just want to see him have hot sex with two foreign girls, and then I'll turn the movie off and be on my way.
With Ana de
You're
Armas.
like, wow, what a
pre-fame.
good wholesome movie.
That's
You
what I
guys saw
said.
it? And then you just shut it off, and you're like, oh, great.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked it, while at the same time kind of thinking it was terrible. I don't know. I don't know where I stand
Maybe
on Knock
I don't
Knock.
know. Someday I'll go back and watch the whole thing. But it's like if I turn this movie off right after they blow up the pipeline thing, and it's like, and then the black guy and the AT&T girl went to the axe throwing place, and they had tons of hot steamy sex, and nothing bad happened.
The end. You should
man.
you should buy it and just edit it so like he does that and then it's just the end. And it's just over.
The Ana de Armas and that fucking Bond movie, dude.
True.
Damn.
I mean, Ana de Armas and fucking Blade Runner. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's where it's at. I mean, she's made to be like
A sex object.
Hot.
a sex object in the movie. Like
She's made
part
to
of the
be-
plot.
She's made to be coming too.
I mean, she's great in Bond too. Don't
God.
get me wrong. I needed more of her in the Bond. She's just kind of like picked up and dropped off like too many Bond girls.
Yeah.
But
Hey, at least she survives. I'm like fucking. I forgot this happened in the one with Plenty O'Toole, where she's just fucking dead in the pool later. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I
plenty of
forgot
tool.
that.
A few like
Goddamn.
that because you get like Strawberry Fields and fucking what's it called? Where she just ends up on the bed in oil because they fucking drowned her in it, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah,
why would you do that to me?
but at least she was in the movie for like more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, I could have used some more scenes with. I mean, her voice. Maybe she could have been a little silenced, but
Wow.
Plenty O'Toole. She was like looped by some other actress, and it's really obvious, and it's really bad. In case anyone is thinking I'm just a terrible sex.
yeah.
I did think you were.
Sexist.
I did
But-
think you were, and then,
Okay.
then you changed.
But yeah, she is. I think as far as
Yeah.
like visually, Plenty O'Toole in Diamonds Are Forever. She
Up
is
there.
She is my favorite to look at. I think of all the.
Really, more than. Oh man, what's her name? Olga.
Olga.
Yeah,
Olga
Kurylenko.
Karolinko. Yeah, more
I don't know,
more so
man.
than Olga. Olga's an attractive woman, but
I mean, I feel
most
like
of them
when
are
I-
pretty damn attractive.
Yeah, when I rewatched that movie, I didn't think she was as hot. So I think it's just like the movie is so bad that like she's there and you're
That
like,
movie's not that bad.
it's
come
pretty.
on.
It's definitely the worst he has.
Yeah, it's the worst Daniel Craig one, but it's not that bad. I mean, there's way worse Bond movies.
Well, yeah. I the third triple nipple is what I call that. That's what I call Man with the Golden Gun now. Triple nipple.
Man with the Golden
Sean
Gun
Connery.
is probably one of the most boring movies ever made.
Yeah, it's set up like a video game though. That part's kind of cool. It's like he's got his little arena. But yeah, it's really boring.
Yeah,
Even
cool. Yeah, as cool as the other video game reference when he has remote control cars, one of the Brosnan ones. It's like, oh yeah, super cool.
Hey man, the Brosnan ones, they just get half as bad as the one before, but all of the bad
Twice
guys are
as
really
bad
good.
as the one before. You don't mean half as
Yeah,
bad.
twice as bad. Yeah. Even the what was
Die Another Day
yeah,
is so good, you guys.
Price in that one? It
Vincent
was
Price,
amazing.
or not Vincent Price, Jonathan Price.
Jonathan Price was so good in that movie, and I'm like, this movie still kind of sucks though. Like, he's so good though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that last one is it's so bad. That's definitely the worst one, dude. There's no fucking
Die Another Day.
Yeah, dude, it's so bad.
Man, Die Another
It's
Day.
so fucking
Man
bad.
with the Golden Gun is close, but Die Another Day. Oh, License to Kill, I also hate. If you want to talk about bad Bond movies, God.
That one's a really cool concept, at least.
It
Nothing
has,
is cool.
I mean, it
about
does
the
have a
fucking-
guy blowing up in like an air pressure machine or whatever. That was pretty sweet. But outside of that, License to Kill, it's like unwatchable. This is the James. This is Nude Bond.
Yeah, what do you guys? Yeah, what do you guys starting your
the
James Bond
ultimate James
podcast?
Bond podcast?
We're gonna call it Nude Bond.
Shaken, not stirred. The James
There
Bond.
is
There's probably a James
there is
Bond.
something I wanted to say to the audience out there. I said the next
Fuck
episode
you.
of Nude Clan, we don't know when it'll happen, but it will happen. So stay subscribed, please. We have to figure out. It's Conan. A final long after dark. So please put your after dark questions in the Discord. A final after dark. Ask us as if you were to never hear from us again. Ask us your fucking dying questions in the after dark question section of the Discord.
Guys, we're doing a suicide pact after the show's over. Ask us anything you want to know.
If you put a question in there, by the way, if you see questions in the After Dark questions, do not reply to the questions in the After Dark questions area. Do that in the After Dark discussions area, if you would. But yes, as if you will never hear or see us again, please ask us your final questions. Give us your final statements in the After Dark questions of the Discord. Yeah, it'll just be Conan Exiles, possibly Borderlands, and then that final episode.
Probably
left.
Borderlands, unfortunately.
And there are probably going to be multiple weeks between episodes, so just be patient with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, Fulgrim just asked, man, what's next for you guys? Fulgrim? That's the question that you ask in the After Darks questions area of the Discord.
And we'll answer it in the Airbnb cabin, all rock hard from the one-time sub of a fucking Blue Chew that I'll buy for the occasion.
Yeah, that's true. And we will, of course, be having a circuit party. I believe that's what you call it. I don't know.
I'm sorry, what? I've never heard that term in my life.
It's like Human Centipede, but with like dicks and asses. And
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
We're
Joe,
just
that's called a
making, like,
train.
Oh, is that a train? But trains have a beginning and an end. I'm saying this needs to be a coil. Like this
Oh, we're
needs
gonna
to-
make like an Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. Yeah, an anal sex Ouroboros.
Yeah.
That's the name of the last After Dark anal sex Ouroboros.
Yeah.
write
Just
it
want the
down,
whole time to
A4.
be like, God,
Write
my
it down.
dick-
Yeah,
My dick
and
just hurts. It's so
and
hard.
hopefully
it
we
hurts.
can hopefully we can get all the hosts on.
And we're all trying to run away from each other's dicks, so we just keep running in a perpetual circle. Like, guys, we got to stop. It's like, I
I
can't.
don't think Cam and
You stop.
They're gonna do it, dude.
First to stop's gay.
Okay,
You don't think
well,
so?
for
We'll see,
Craig,
we'll
we
see.
just need to bring food. And for Cameron, we just need to bring booze, and they'll come. So,
I was gonna say for Cameron, we also.
I don't know.
just
Last
need to
time I
food,
asked
but-
them if they were interested in it, they actually said yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You
I
never
don't know why they wouldn't. It's the last fucking show. It's like a one-time fucking commitment. Who cares? But yeah.
And also, we're paying for a cabin and shit. Like, like
Yeah,
Come on.
That's the idea. Remote, just way out there.
Yeah.
So we got to find out who's the werewolf.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
there's
The
our
queer,
ending.
the queer wolf within. All right, who's the gay werewolf? Here?
Who's the gay werewolf? We'll find out when I put these diapers on you. No, I don't wear the diaper. I just put them on you.
Yeah,
Hey,
if I
why
were
are
to
you
wear it,
growing
it would.
hair just because we put a diaper on you? And I'm like, I was always a furry.
Yeah.
Did you know that in terms of human compatibility, Vaporeon is
Yeah.
All
I hear
right.
that on a podcast once.
All right. We need to be done here. Let's call it.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Until next time, as always, live always in the nude.
We are the Nude clan within.
Walk with your balls held high.
Yeah, fuck balls.
Yeah!